Notice to the public. The Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for the discussion. You are requested to approach the mic, state your name for the record, and limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chairperson to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and/or place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate and a roll call vote will follow. Number one, approval or amendment of the agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the agenda as printed.
Mr. Chairman, I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda as printed. Roll call vote.
Thompson,
Yes.
Patton,
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes. Motion passes. Consent agenda. Number two, approve minutes from the regular session of July 21st, 2020. Number three, appointment commencing August 4th, 2020. A, the Board of Adjustment. Mike Sharp to fulfill the unexpired term of Craig Font's term dates August 4, 2020 through December 31, 2021. Gene Weimer to fulfill the unexpired term of Terry Collins, terms dates August 4th, 2020 through December 31st, 2023. Eric Bidwell to fulfill the unexpired term of Roger Shell, term dates August 4th, 2020 through December 31, 2020. Can I comment on this at this point?
I believe we should.
Did you want to read the whole thing real fast? Or how do you want to do that?
No, the reason that we're doing this, the state laws have changed. Do I understand? These people that are being replaced have just done a great job for us, and I'm sorry to see them go, but it's been required of us that you live in the rural area as opposed to within the city limits of any city. So we were forced to make this change.
See, we had a farmer on here, but he lived in the edge of a town.
And that did
And
not.
the governor said that this is what they want.
Number four, the utility reports. I can tell you now that I'm not going to read all of the utility reports, so they can be read through on our spot on the internet. So, and these have all either happened or in the process of happening. Is that fair to say?
Since it said 19, I'm assuming maybe it was all done by June 30th.
I think so.
Okay.
I think these are the completed ones.
Good. Good. All right. We're going to go on to number five then, accept manure management plan update for Jeff Brea, ID number 65417. Manure management plan received and placed on file with no changes to manure management plan. Number six, accept the manure management plan update for Bill Havelka, section number 28, ID number 61559. Manure management plan received and placed on file with no changes to the manure management plan. Number seven, accept manure management plan update for Eric Edler, ID number 61858. Manure management plan received and placed on file with no changes to manure management plan. Number eight, accept manure management plan update for Burt Farm and Livestock, Seminole site, ID number 65507. Manure management plan received and placed on file with no changes to the MMP. Number nine, accept manure management plan update for Timber Creek Court, ID number 58019. Manure management plan received and placed on file with no changes to manure management plan. Number 10, accept the sheriff's quarterly report for 6/20. General basic service fees of $12,090.86. General basic interest checking, $10.36. General basic mileage fees, $4,333.68. Number 11, accept sheriff's annual report for 2019-2020 fiscal year. General basic service fees, $61,716.73. General basic interest checking, $42.18. General basic mileage fees, $12,194.42. Number 12, approve claims. Approve claims as audited and authorize the county auditor and recorder to issue payment of the same. The listing of claims paid at this meeting and all claims paid in the month of August will be published as part of the first meeting in September. Is there a motion on the consent agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve the consent agenda as printed.
And Mr. Chairman, I'd second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda as printed. Any other discussion?
I'd just like to personally think we should thank all the individuals that have served on this commission for us. It was a 6-year term. They've done very good work. The nice part about living in Marshall County is every time we've ever called anybody to serve on any of these things, we've generally gotten an instant yes. Everybody is always willing to participate in government, and that's very refreshing.
It's good to hear. That's nice you shared that. Roll call vote.
Thompson,
Yes.
Patton,
Yes.
Slosett.
Yes. Motion passes. All right, tabled from our 7/21/20 Board of Supervisors meeting. Lease between Masonic Holding Corporation and Marshall County.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to remove this item from the table.
Mr. Chairman, I would second that.
It's been moved and seconded to remove this item from the table.
We have to vote on it.
Let's have a roll call vote.
Thompson,
Yes.
Patton,
Yes.
Slosett.
Yes.
My last conversations with Mr. Hunt was they're still wanting roughly $7 a square foot. They said they needed the money to work on it. What we were paying up till this past month was $6.68 per foot. So that would have been in the year 2019, 2020.
$6 and what? I'm sorry, Bill.
$6.68.
68. Thank you.
And that we've got an old building there that hasn't had any TLC really for a long time, and maybe I'm looking at this whole thing wrong, but it looks like we're looking at this thing backwards, or working with people who are looking at it backwards. Because if you ask us to live in those antiquated facilities and then pay more so that you can remodel it so the next guys that move in have something nice, I think it's wrong. But now we still have to use this. We've got at least a year, probably.
Is it their intent to start on this relatively soon?
Well, as soon as we're out.
Okay, all right.
So if we did a 1.5%, David has mentioned a 1.5%. 1.5% then would take it from $6.68, which was previously, it would take it up to $6.78. You have to have about a 3.9 to get up to $7. And that's what they were asking for.
Is this negotiable or?
Well, he was supposed to talk to his board, and I assume he did. Didn't say he didn't, but there wasn't any give and take at this time. So I said, well, I'm not going to sit here and say this and this and this. I said, this is something the three of us have to decide on. And I guess I would propose that we kick this thing around here a little bit and come up with a proposal and send that back to them. I don't mind raising it some. I mean, the whole world is going up every year, and I understand that. And here's the deal too. There's really not a lot of actual dollars between us because of just the 2,000 square feet. We had, this past year, $14,340 for the whole year. If we would go up 1.5%, it would go up 14,551. So that's approximately $210 for the whole year. If we gave them there's, I didn't figure 7 foot because, or 7 square feet because we were talking dollars. But if we went up to 3.89 or 849%, that would go up to $14,892 per year. And so even going back, that's approximately $550 difference from what we paid last year for the whole year. And I'm comfortable for giving them some.
I don't want to have to move here in the next year to leave, if they ask us to leave, we
Yeah.
choose not to pay.
Well, here's the other thing. In the contract, the last contract, I did not see anything where there's an out clause. Was I mistaken? Did I miss that? Do you know?
What would have been on there? I haven't looked at this. If there was one on there, it would have been on that list.
Yeah,
A 30-day.
I don't see anything like that. And Lucas and I visited yesterday, and there's a lot of unanswered questions at this point that is going to determine how long we're going to need this. When is our annex building going to get done? How many people in DHS are going to need part of our annex? Those things are up in the air, and so we're going to need the court system, the Masonic holding area for at least a year. What's your thoughts there, David?
We're probably a year away on the annex being completed.
I think they have, go ahead.
I would be surprised if they don't complete that project within 1 year period.
On the annex.
On the
We're
annex.
probably looking more like 6 to 7 months on it.
So
For best case scenario, the elevator's a question mark, but we can occupy it before the elevator's installed too.
well, not to rain on anybody's parade, but
I've been through
our
it
luck
timelines.
with all of our rejuvenations hasn't exactly gone along with best case scenario.
That is true.
We seem to have been a little bit snake bit. So I'm going to have a tendency to err on the side of making sure we have plenty of time. So I understand you say we might be 6 to 8 months. I'd like to give us a year's cushion. We're not talking a tremendous amount of money here. So why don't we maybe look at compromising and go ahead and giving them the percentage of increase they want, but only for a 1 year term. And I know they're asking for 3, but right now we've got so many things up in the air with what's going on, as does the rest of the community. It's very difficult for us to make a long-term commitment right now.
We're
And
also 1 month in.
Yeah.
Because it started July 1st.
I think they would understand that very well.
I would hope so.
You know,
And
they're extremely reasonable people over there, and we've rented from them for a long time, and it's been a good relationship. So I would propose maybe give them the percentage they want, but not the term that they want. Give them a
Yeah.
1 year.
they gave us, the percentages don't line up
I understand.
quite right.
Yep.
Because they were running it off at a 2,100 square feet. Actually, it's 2,147 square feet. So when you figure that, then it changes a percent a little bit. But their dollars is what we can go on then, and that's $14,892 is what they were asking for.
But I'm gonna kind of compare this to what we just did with DHS. That building is in far less good shape than this one is.
Mhm.
And we just approved that at very close to the same square footage for a 1-year term. So those are just my thoughts.
Yeah,
I would say 12 months is going to give us a really good idea of DHS's projection for the future as well.
Mhm.
I hope it's enough time, but it's hard to tell.
Well, you know, we've had several contacts with DHS and they don't know what they're
No.
going to do.
They've not made a determination yet either. The July 1st date that they gave us, that has not still
Yeah.
been decided.
But when you look at the budgeting things and the situations and the revenues that are going on with the state of Iowa, I don't see as though they're going to have any choice but to make some cuts next year. And I think this is going to be an area they may pare back in, asking people to work from home, not have the additional expense of other areas, travel. And quite frankly, I think with all of the meetings that are going on right now with Zoom and everything else, you're going to see a cultural shift in not doing things maybe necessarily face to face.
I would agree with you, Dave. You know, the magic number uptown here seems to be maybe $8 a square foot. or so.
7.
Is it 7?
Yep.
I think we're paying a little over 8 at the bank, but
Mhm.
I think that's the direction we ought to go. I really
Okay.
do.
well, on their proposal then, it was $14,892 payable monthly at $1,241. And I would move that we write a new lease with the Masonic Holding Corporation for the $14,892 per year, payable at $1,241 per month.
For,
For,
1 year. Thank you.
Is that contingent on them accepting that offer?
Yes,
And that's beginning July 1st of 2020.
yes.
Okay. I would second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded then to sign a contract with the Masonic Holding Company, I believe it is,
Yes,
for the money that they're asking for, which would be $14,892 a year, but just a 1-year contract with them. Roll call vote.
I'm going to first state what I've got written down for the motion.
Okay.
Lease of $14,892 per year for a 1-year term payable monthly.
Beginning July 1st, 2020.
There we go. Beginning 7/1/2020. Awesome. Okay. Anything else?
well, we got it
That's
covered.
it.
Okay. Thompson,
Yes.
Patton,
Yes.
Solosik.
Yes. Motion passes. We'll move on to number 14, which is discussion only. Discussion on continuing to have a door monitor at the bank for county offices and for how long?
Things have, I think, have been going pretty well at the door. We had one person that was turned away last week because they went and tested for COVID, but didn't have the results yet, and we did not allow them into the facility. Even though they were told to quarantine after they tested. So I think having the person there is probably a good safety feature. There's times that it's not super busy. We've got them, if you walk by there, you'll see lots of paper and envelopes there. We've got them preparing absentee sets to mail out absentee ballots for the fall general election. So they're putting those together with the secrecy envelope and the mailback envelope and the other one and the instructions all in little packets. So we'll be ready to go when that hits us. We're working on 15,000 of those sets. And so they're able to keep busy right now.
Great idea.
So yeah, I thought that was.
It's everybody pretty much been civil when they've come in.
Most have been civil. The gentleman that was asked to leave who had tested and didn't have a result wasn't great, but Jeannie got him out of there, so.
I'm noticing when I'm out, I'm betting that over 50% of the people are wearing a mask anyway.
We're not giving out as many masks
Yeah.
as we were, at the beginning. I was really going through them quickly and I got another 1,000. And I don't think we're through that first 500 because people are getting a lot more used to just wearing masks. And are having them in their pocket. Even if they come upstairs, they'll see people in masks and you see them reaching in
Are
their
we
pocket.
still using what, 2 different ladies?
We've got actually 7 people.
Oh, we do, but then I've only seen 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, we've got.
Maybe they all look alike, I don't
No.
know.
No, it's just, most of the folks are
Because of the
retired.
mask, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It could be. They're wearing, actually, most of them are wearing shields because that protects them also from somebody that's not wearing a mask. So we give them the option.
Yeah.
But most of the folks are retired. And I guess if they wanted a half-time or full-time job, they would have one. And this is, so
They get a chance to meet a lot of nice people.
they do.
And
They do.
It makes it fun.
Yes, it has been a good experience for, I think, the folks that are doing it, and an eye-opening experience to see what goes on at the county as well. Because these folks have all been just election workers. So that's the only little piece of that they've really seen firsthand. So it's opened eyes a bit.
Are they shocked a little bit how many different people we deal with on a daily basis?
They were, several of them have made comments. They are shocked at how few people they know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When you spread 40,000 people out among 13 towns and then the rural area, you're not gonna know them all.
No. And that's the one comment I've had 2 or probably 3 or 4 of them make.
Yeah.
Is that, wow, I as I thought I did. So currently we have this scheduled through next Friday. We're just kind of piecemealing it out, just to kind of keep us covered and have time to get it
Next Friday,
scheduled.
next week?
Yes,
Okay.
so if you're good with us continuing a bit longer, we'll make the schedule out a little further. All of these folks also know that if, let's say at the 18th, if the governor comes out with a mask mandate, it is going to change the rules a bit. We do ask questions. We have 3 questions we ask when they come in, and that's how we caught the person that'd been tested for COVID, but not yet, didn't have the results. If we don't have someone there, we wouldn't catch that. We would know if they didn't have a mask on, obviously, that'd be pretty obvious, but.
I would be in favor of continuing it a little longer.
Okay. Well, and right now we don't have a mask mandate, although people are getting more used to it because there's a few retailers doing it. So it just
People
gets,
are either on one side of this issue or another, and they are divided like you would not believe.
they're very divided. But
Yep.
even if the folks that I know that are against a mask, if they need to go into a retailer that requires it, they throw it on for the 5 minutes, run in and do their thing and leave. Take it off. So.
Should we extend this then another 2 weeks or a month? Or
I'd say go through the next period that she's got scheduled, and
Yeah, we'll schedule
Yeah.
out another couple weeks. The folks also know that it could end at any time, so
Right.
it just gives us a buffer, and we'll discuss it again next meeting.
because previously we've given you the ability to handle it as needed.
Yes, so if it changes and, we can always have another special too, in the meantime, if
Yep.
we decide we want to end it. Yeah, you've given me the authority to do that, so we could, even give a little trial on ending it, just have somebody sit there and watch and count and see how many try to come in without. Maybe we can start doing some sort of counting too about how many masks we hand out, which would probably be a good option and good information for you all to have. Okay.
All right.
Hi, this is Jarrett in the treasurer's office, and this is, I thought, worked out very, very well. The people staffing have been great. A couple of items I think to think of is, I don't know how long the bank is going to continue to have their doors closed. I think it's been good to have a door person while the bank is closed to help with any of that confusion. And then additionally, you know, we're going to send those tax statements out here soon this month, and we're going to have our busy tax time. Are we, even if we would phase out at some time, we might want to consider putting it back in as we get to the end of September, just to help with the social distancing with the numbers that come in at that time. Obviously not a decision to make now, but just a couple items to have, you know, in the back of our minds as we're preparing for the future.
Good points. The other thing, Jared, as you said, Great Western Bank, it triggered, when Great Western Bank opens, they will be opening the east door only. So one of the concerns Jarrett and I have discussed is we really don't want that west door open. We like that it's all controlled from one door there on the north. And with them only opening the east door, that will allow us to keep the current setup that we have working very well. They will not be allowing the public to enter that north door. It will just be the east to the bank when they do open.
So they're gonna have the north door closed, they're gonna have the west door closed, and the east door comes off the alley.
Yes, which they have parking over there.
Yes. I just want to be sure.
Yeah,
So then somebody comes in, they'll have to go to our offices, they'll have to go back outside. Yeah.
they couldn't get out. They have to go to the north door to go to our offices, yeah. The reason they're choosing that door is that's where the ramp is for handicap on the east side. That's
Crash out.
That's their handicap entrance and exit.
All right. We'll move on to number 15 then. Please complete your 2020 census now. And Lisa?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, when I updated you, I think I told everybody about this new program. They unveiled the mobile assistance questionnaire. And since then, we've had some people at the bank and over at JBS kind of doing a mobile questionnaire set up where they have people come and actually assist them, fill out the census questionnaires with them. And it's actually worked out pretty well. The people at the bank have had real good response. They've had over 40 people in this last 2-week period. JBS, not so good. They said that the people are wanting to get into work and they're wanting to leave work and go home, but they're going to change a few things and maybe retry again next week at JBS. And see if maybe they get a little bit better response from the people who are coming in, the employees. It's paid off. You know, those of you who have the agenda in front of you, the majority of our 13 towns have all had an increase. And that includes Marshalltown. So there's just 3 towns that pretty much stayed the same. But you know, 10 out of the 13 have all had an increase, and I think a lot of that has to do with this mobile assistance situation, helping out. So it's been a good thing, and I'm glad to see that it's going to continue. A couple of changes I forgot to mention. Sherry Kokenauer, who is kind of my co-census partner, has retired. And I haven't touched base with the new city clerk who they hired last week, I believe, yet to see if she's even able to, you know, help with this at all or not. But anyway, little change there. And then John Cook, our local Census Bureau representative, has gone to another area. And I was able to meet Lynn Erickson, his replacement, last week by phone. So I've talked with her a little bit, and we kind of got on the same page as far as, you know, what we're doing and what have you. And she's the one that's actually going to talk with Nico again at JBS and and see what some other things we can do to help make that a little bit better and maybe get some more people to fill out the census. So anyway, a few changes there, but we're rocking along. The numbers are going up and that's what we want, so.
Steve, your area over there in the Grand is doing really well.
I'd like to, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
Makes me
yeah.
happy, yeah. All right.
There is a prize.
Oh, I'm open to it. That's good. That's good. Hey, was there any thought to posting someone outside of the post offices of these communities for just a day or two? Is it possible to catch folks getting their mail or not?
I can certainly run that by Lynn and see if that's a possibility. I do know that when this program was set up, they have very strict rules about putting people in the areas where they're low versus other places. But I'll certainly run that by her
Just a
and see.
thought.
That's a place where a lot of people go every day.
Mhm.
So,
It is.
yeah, I can ask her. You bet.
Okay, thank you.
I think the census is ending a month early now. I saw a news article on that. Pretty sure.
Last thing I knew, it was extended to October.
There was
As
an
far
article
as-
the other day saying it was ending early, I thought.
Oh, well, that's news to me, because I thought they'd extended it.
All right. Number 16, the public forum. It's a time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on this agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in the public forum. No public today.
This is Paul. My laptop didn't want to let me get into the link today, so I couldn't answer questions on the utility permits, but I didn't know if you had any for me.
Paul, there was a question on if these had all been completed or are some of them yet to happen?
They're just the utility permits that were issued in calendar year 2019. And so I'm assuming they're all completed, but we don't really go around to the utility areas and verify that a lot of times it's underground work. And if you aren't there at the right time, you may not even be able to tell they were there. But these are calendar year 2019 permits, and it's just a matter of getting them in the public record so that if we're trying to search what company did what, where, years down the road, they're recorded.
Okay, that clarifies then. Thanks, Paul. If there's no other topics to touch on, then 17, adjournment. The next regular session is August 18th, 2020 at 9:05 a.m. All business to be acted upon at that session should be submitted to the county auditor and recorder's office or the Board of Supervisors office by Thursday, August 13th, 2020 at 1:00 p.m. There being no further business to come before the board, the meeting is adjourned at 9:40 a.m. Thanks to all that have attended.